All right, friends, today we are doing the 8.01 lab, unit introduction, project 7. In this project, you will add 2 icospheres. Use particle systems to create the explosions of the fireworks, change the colors of the fireworks, change the background of the scene. Lab 1. In this lab, you'll add 2 icospheres that will explode into fireworks. You'll also add particle systems to your icospheres. Goals for the lesson: create particle systems for the 2 icospheres that send out particles, create an explosion that makes particles explode into fireworks. Using an icosphere to create a firework. Icospheres are the meshes you'll want to use to create fireworks. Icospheres have several faces that can explode and emit particles. Depending on how many subdivisions you have on your icosphere, the shape of the firework will vary. On the next page, you'll create your first icosphere. Let's open Blender. We are going to get rid of the cube. So it's already selected. Click X. And then delete. Perfect. Let's go ahead and file, save as, find your 3D animation folder, and I'm going to go ahead and call this Unit 8 Fireworks. Double click on your Unit 8 Fireworks folder. Make sure that it shows up here, that's where it's saving. And then you can title this your first and last name, Fireworks, version 1, and hit enter twice. Next, we're going to add the icosphere. So you can use your tool shelf here on the left to create icosphere, or you can add mesh icosphere, whatever version you prefer. Excellent. And once you've added your icosphere, you get one chance over here to make any adjustments that you want to. Once you do something else, this disappears. So it's important that you make changes now. Let's change the subdivisions to 4. Hit enter. Good job. Next, let's open the properties panel. I'm just going to click on the plus. Very good. And we'll scroll down for a moment, and the item is going to be named Ecosphere 1 and hit enter. So you just have to add a 1 to that. Ecosphere 1. All right, so your X and Y values are going to stay at 0. Your Z value we're going to put at 6 so that it raises the icosphere. And then the scale for the X, Y, and Z will be 0.149. 0.149, tab, 0.149, tab, 0.149, enter. Perfect. Let's add a second icosphere, and this time we'll set the subdivisions to 5. So icosphere subdivisions 5. All right, in the properties panel, let's name this one Ecosphere 2. And then the location of the X, Y, and Z is going to be 0, 0, and the Z will be 5.5. So it'll be just below the first one. And then you're going to set your scale for X, Y, and Z to 0.149, same as before, 0.149, tab, 0.149, tab, 0.149, enter. Good job. Quiz time. Why is an icosphere the best mesh to use for fireworks? A, the icosphere has limited vertices. B, the icosphere is smaller in size than other meshes. C, the icosphere has multiple faces. D, the icosphere can be changed into several different shapes for the fireworks. Well, I know that it was because the icosphere has multiple faces, but the icosphere can be changed into several different shapes for the fireworks. Looks like it's a possibility too. So is it possible that it could be both C and D? It says up here, select the two best answers. Ooh, there we go. See what happens when you read? Isn't that awesome? All right, next we're going to make the first icosphere into a particle emitter system. Say that with me, particle emitter system. Right click on the first particle, which is the one that's up above. And let's go ahead and open up the properties panel over here. What is this called? Properties. Yep. Properties editor. And this right here is your particles button. So click on that. Ding. And here we have add a particle system. Click that. Ding. And now it is a particle emitter. All right, so we're now going to give this icosphere an explosion by adding an explode modifier. So over here in your properties area, you have a modifiers button. Click on that wrench, and there is an add modifier drop-down box. Click on that, and look at all of these modifiers. Oh my goodness. Click explode. Woo! And then down here where it says dead, we're going to go ahead and unselect that or deselect that. The reason why is because we don't want to see any dead particles. Ew. All right, now we're going to go ahead and change the settings, okay, for the particles on this first icosphere up here. So let's click on that particles button again. All right, here you go. You ready? First, we're going to look for the random field. Ding, random. We want to set it to 0.3. Oops, I skipped a step. Okay, first we're going to set the end field to 2. Hit enter. Now there's the random field. We can set the random field to 0.3. Enter. The random field randomizes the length of the life of each particle. And then let's find the lifetime field. It's up above. Set that to 24. Hit enter. Perfect. This is the lifespan for the particles. So they're going to have like random lifespans, but this is like the total lifespan. Continue. Here we go. Let's scroll down to velocity. If it's not open, just click that drop down box. Mine was already open. And we're going to set the normal field to 5. Enter. So that means that the particles are going to start out fast. Okay. And where is the rotation? There it is. Click on rotation. Ding. And then we're going to scroll down and look for render. Here we go. Render. There's render. Okay. And then next to trail count, we're going to set the length to 0.08. Hit enter. Well, that was silly. I just changed it to 1. Oh, brother. It says this is the end time of the drawn tail count particles. All right, are you ready to preview? You're going to hold down Alt and click A. Ooh, that is so much fun. Look at, see how every single time it has like 250 frames? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change my end frame here on the timeline. So if you don't have your timeline, get yourself a timeline. And I'm going to change this to 30. There we go. That's how I want to see it. Explode. explode. Click pause. All right, let's go File, Save. Ding. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add the next particle system to our second icosphere. So go ahead and right click on the second icosphere. And now this is very important. Are you listening? You have to set the current frame to 1 because we need to do this at the beginning. So make sure your current frame is 1. All right, and then we can go over and click on the particle button, and I'm all the way at the bottom, so it kind of like seems to just wherever I was before save that. So I have to scroll all the way back up to find the Add a Particle System. Ding! Okay, let's go to the wrench, and we're going to add a modifier, click Explode, and deselect Dead, because we don't want to see dead particles. Ew. Okay, now let's go ahead and make adjustments to the particle system here, okay? So I am looking for emission. There's emission. We're going to set the amount to 2000 and hit enter. Set the number to 2000. All right, we're going to set the end field to 3. So this one's going to end a little bit, was it later? Yep, if I click on the other one, the end of that one was 2. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to set the random field to 0.7. So it looks like it's going to be a little less random. Hit enter. And we're going to set the lifetime field to 15. So although it's less random, the lifetime will be shorter. Hit enter. And let's look for the velocity mini window here. We're going to set the normal to 4. And under other, we're going to set random to 0.5. Set random to 0.5. Check mark the rotation, check. And then look for render. Here we go. Here's the render mini window. Set the trail count to 67. Enter. This is the number of trail particles. And set the length to 0.06 and hit enter. And this is the end time of the drawn tail particles. So I'm wondering if I was supposed to have set the length in the other one. I'm going to right click on this one. I might have set the wrong. No, it didn't have a length box. Okay, so I guess we're good. All right, and let's take a look I'm just going to press play. It's pretty exciting. Press pause. And let's just say I'm going to go back to frame 1. And, you know, I'm going to get crazy and I'm going to move one of them over to so that they're kind of side by side instead of right on top of each other, and press play and see how that looks. It's kind of fun. So they don't necessarily have to be exactly. Oh, cool. They don't have to be exactly where those settings were. So if you want to move them somewhere else, you can. And, you know, I'd also just say, if you want to change any of your settings and make your explosions look more awesome, please feel free. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and save this version 1. And you're done with lab 1. In this lab, you created particle systems for the 2 icospheres that send out particles. You created an explosion that makes particles explode into fireworks.